Hello, West Sacramento, and welcome to the first episode of Flippin Talkos, West Sacramento as we see it. I'm Armando Omega.
And I am Yvonne Scarborough.
And today we have our special guest from Capital West Realty and all-around good guy, Chris Palamidessi.
Hey.
Welcome, Chris.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now, since this is our first podcast, let's talk about the how and the why we are doing this. So first off, Yvonne and I love to listen to podcasts, and we started listening to podcasts once I think we went to a comedy show once with our significant others, and we started listening to their podcasts, and then it kind of exploded into something different. Like we listened to
start to listen to one, and then you start to listen to others, and the next thing you know, you're hooked on them.
Yeah. So like, there's a ton of different types of podcasts out there. Some are comedy, some are political. Some of you may have heard of what are they called? Ben Talks? TED Talks, right? They're like motivational type speaking type things. Well, our purpose is to promote the city of West Sacramento, its businesses, and its events while having some fun while doing so. And I'll let Yvonne explain how we came up with the name Flippin Talkos.
Well, we came up with the name because it was a play on our ethnicities, and at the risk of not offending anyone, I'll let you guess what our ethnicities are based on the title of our podcast.
Yeah. So we like Flipping Talkos has nothing to do with West Sacramento. Just really has to do with our background. So we thought that the name was kind of cool, and we have a little logo with a talking taco. So that was pretty cool. So if you happen to like what you hear today, like us on Facebook or hashtag us on Twitter at hashtag Flipping Talkos, or subscribe to us via iTunes.
And tacos is Talkos.
Yes, like we're talking. So we're so clever that it allows us to come up with such crazy and amazing things. So yes, thank you for adding that. So eventually, like the more listeners we have, the means that the more people that are connected to our city and connected to the opportunities that we have in our city.
And we want people to tune into us if they want to know what's going on around town, or hear like maybe the latest restaurant that's open, or just the word on the street, or they just want to hear our awesome opinions on things. They can hopefully tune into us.
Yeah. And that's why we picked Chris to be here today, because, he's kind of like West Sac royalty when you come think about it. Because, the Palamidessi name is, it's synonymous with West Sac, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it was a no-brainer.
Wow.
Yeah.
We didn't even argue over it.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we were like joking, saying our first guest, and we both said the same time, Chris Palamidessi. So yeah, and it was like exactly a no-brainer. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about some local events and some local news that are coming out of West Sacramento. And we're also gonna hit Chris up with what we call our Flippin Talkos 6-pack. The 6-pack of questions. 3 of them are basic business questions, since he is like the West Sacramento real estate monster here in town. He's the man when it comes to real estate. So 3 of those questions are based on his business and what he offers to clients here in West Sacramento in the area. But 3 of the questions are kind of mystery, personal questions.
What?
Yep.
Sorry, we didn't tell you that.
Yeah, that's right. And you signed the contract saying that you have to stay here the whole time, and you have to answer. We actually have a lie detector test that we're going to hook you up with beforehand.
That's what those little lines
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, we'll know when you're lying. All right, so before we get to the news and local events, we're going to talk about, because it's getting hot outside, and I was thinking about installing a whole house fan.
Uh-oh.
What?
Do you know how to do that?
Well, I know there's YouTube, and I can probably learn on YouTube, right? Are you suggesting something else?
So you're going to cut a hole in your ceiling Actually, Mia is going to allow you to cut a hole in your ceiling.
Well, I do it when she's working and I have the day off. So it'd be a nice surprise.
Right? How hard could it be to cut a hole in your ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mia, easy.
Yeah. So do you have any suggestions on what I can do?
Well, wouldn't you feel better having a licensed electrician doing that? Why not call Parks Electric? That way you can have the assurance that it was done right the first time.
Well, that sounded like that was pre-thought. Parks Electric. I know Johnny Parks.
I always say that, like when people ask about
No.
Full House fans, that's what I say every time.
Chris, have you used Johnny Parks?
I have. Actually, I've used them numerous times. Actually, for my own personal, for my house. I have a couple of rentals in West Sac that I use them for. And then, of course, if my clients who I'm selling their home, if they need a referral for an electrician, always call Johnny. He's right there on the spot. Johnny on the spot.
All right.
Now, the lie detector noticed when you said a couple of rentals, it went.
Yeah,
Yikes.
yikes.
A couple dozen. I'm just kidding. All right. So Parks Electrics. Tell us where they're located, Yvonne.
So they are a West Sacramento-based company, and you can see their work all over those DIY and HGTV shows. You know, all those house crashers, bath crashers, yardcore, kitchen crashers, etc.
So I've seen Johnny on TV, and he's I always like to call him my buddy from New York. My buddy from New York. So you can find information about Johnny Parks Electric Company at johnparkelectric.com to get all your information, to get a hold of them. If you're lucky enough, you may be talking to his beautiful wife, Claudia, who is your sister, Yvonne.
She is my sister.
So, yeah, it just so happens that, I was wanting to put a whole house fan in. He's going to get a ton of business, and he's going to come to me and say, "Thank you, Armando. I wanted to install this whole house fan for you for free." All right, so now it's time for our news and events. Yvonne, take us to our local news and events.
What is going on? Rayleigh Field is having a Mommy and Me event at the ballpark on Wednesday, June 18th from 10 to noon. This is a free event for kids 6 and under and their parents. There will be bounce houses, snacks, and a visit from the River Cats mascot, Dinger. We are so happy. We are so lucky to have Rayleigh Field here. This is a great organization that participates in its community. And you can get tickets at www.rayleighfield.com.
Wait, so we're lucky to have the family that runs Rayleigh Field and the River Cats in our town. They participate a lot in our local charities. I know for Our Lady of Grace School, they sent Dinger out for our golf tournament one year. They're always donating different prizes and seats to
very generous.
Yeah, very generous. And your kids, didn't they just go to camp there, Chris?
They did. Yeah, Christian went to a baseball camp there. Had a great time.
Yeah.
Anthony went too. They really had a good time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, if you can support whatever they do, and they're always doing things for the people of Sacramento, but we're so lucky to have them in West Sacramento. So go visit them. They're right down the street. And I think they've had a beer fest there recently, or they're going to have one. So hopefully you didn't miss that.
And speaking of, Dinger also showed up at the Relay for Life last year.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
He did.
That's coming up.
And, yes, it is coming up this Saturday, the 21st, at Our Lady of Grace School, which is at 1990 Linden Road. And it starts at 9 o'clock. And this is an event that has a lot of participation from our locals. Armando is on team Eat Right. And our guest, Chris's wife, Tish Palamidessi, has raised $1,800 for her team, Jill's Sisters, so far. So they're doing really well. I will be out there, too, to do some laps to support people. And this major event usually raises about $40,000 to $50,000 for the American Cancer Society. So it's
awesome.
A really big deal.
Yeah. And Tish Palamidessi, Chris's wife, her team, Kersey Shore, last year raised about $7,000. So, we're lucky to have a lot of people here in this town that participate in fundraisers and things like that to help people that need it, like people who are, the American Cancer Society has a lot of programs that help people that are suffering from cancer, and also family members that are of people that have cancer or that have maybe passed away from cancer. So they have a lot of programs that assist people to get through that process. So come out this Saturday, do a couple laps, donate a couple of dollars. I'm going to be on the team Eat Right with Chris White, one of the co-owners of Capital Bowl. So we'll be out there talking about healthy ways to hopefully stay cancer-free and fight cancer. And it's always a good time. So it's a 24-hour walk. Chris, you camped out last year, didn't you?
Yep, last 2 years. It's an awesome event.
Yeah.
Awesome event. It's a good time, 24 hours, spend the night there. Really good time.
I think they typically bring like pizzas in at midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
play a movie. Fun. They play a movie for the kids.
Yeah. So it's a good time. Good time, and hopefully we'll raise our $40,000 to $50,000 like we do every year, and help people that need it. All right.
Okay, what else is going on? Oh, some good news. In just his second year of playing, local West Sac kid Ryan Pratt made the collegiate All-American team for rugby. He will actually be playing a few games on the East Coast, and one of them will be at the legendary Dartmouth College. His proud parents are Rick and Shannon Pratt, owners of Capital Flooring and Design right here in town, located on Lake Washington Boulevard. So that is really a cool thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was only his second year. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, especially for a kid who, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't play in high school. Then all of a sudden he comes in and bam,
I know,
plays in
really
college
amazing.
and is a star. That's very impressive.
He's a monster, too.
Well, he plays rugby.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude, and he's dedicated, and he really enjoys it, and his parents are super, super proud of him. And I know that I think they'll be making the trip to the East Coast to watch. I think it's like 4 or 5 games that they have, and so hopefully they'll be able to. Some of his games when they play, he played at St. Mary's College, and some of the games like the national championship game and some of the playoff games where they were televised online, or I don't know if that's televised online. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
They're aired online, and so it was. We can watch that. So hopefully that's kind of more of the same when it comes to watching his games online. When it comes to it. All right, good job, Ryan Pratt. And congratulations, he just graduated too from St. Mary's College.
Oh,
so
awesome!
There's a lot of good things happening in the Pratt family.
Very
and
cool.
again, Capital Flooring is a flooring company here. Actually, technically, they're on Industrial Boulevard.
Okay,
but,
I wasn't quite sure where the break off
I don't
is.
want to confuse anybody.
Okay, it's by the port.
Yeah.
If you can find the port, you'll find them.
Very easy to find. I've used them numerous times.
There you go. See,
Great
Chris,
company.
when you have multiple rentals, I mean, you're going to have flooring issues.
I got to have the contacts.
Yeah, exactly. That's kidding.
Also, what's new in town is that there's a few businesses that opened up that we'd like to give a shout out to show our support. A microbrewery, Yellow Brewing Company, that is located at 1520 Terminal Street, where you can try a flight of beers or brew your own. And I think they are having some kind of promotional deal that Armando can tell us about that you've already participated in.
Well, Chris and we purchased a punch card, and I think that in hindsight, I should have bought 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because the beers there at YOLO Brew are great. I had 3. They had 8 on tap. I had 3 of them.
I heard you had 4.
Well, I did. Technically, I had 4 beers, but 3 different beers. And I wasn't really in charge of the 4th one. It was given to me.
I didn't know that mattered, but anyway.
Well, yeah, it does. It's a technicality that you can get off on.
Okay.
Or not get off. Anyways, so Chris, you enjoyed the beers?
It was. I had the Pilsner. I liked it so much. All 3 of mine were the Pilsners.
Yeah, and I tried. I think they had I had a Pilsner, I think, the first one, and then I had an IPA, which Chris is very opposed to drinking. Is
not a big fan of the IPA.
He's not a big fan of the IPA. Then
just ask Rick Hart.
Yeah, exactly. And then I had the what was that one? It was the
Belgium ale.
Belgium, yeah.
I thought that one was good too.
Yeah, had a different taste.
Yep.
In fact, our friend Andy, who's your husband. It was funny. We asked him, "So what do you think of the taste?" And he was like,
licking his lips.
Was this after a few years?
And then I go, "Why don't you have another sip? Because maybe you can get a better idea of it." No, but really, Mike has a lot of great plans for YOLO Brew, and Go out there and check it out.